Hello guys, so today I'm going to talk about the introductions of PGP. PGP is a program that is intended to help make in electronic mails or informations to be more secure online. Basically, PGP stands for pretty good privacy. PGP uses two different types of keys, which is public and private. The public key, as its name suggests, can be shared with anyone and it remains public. Then the private key, as its name suggests, also it stays private or secret. Next, PGP creates keys in pairs, one private and one in public. A key pair must remain a pair. If one is lost, the other one is considered useless. Why? Because the two keys has their interesting property that can be exploited in two ways actually. So one, when a message is encrypted using a public key, it should be only decrypted by its corresponding private key. And next, the second one is when a message is being encrypted by a private key, it can be only decrypted by its corresponding public key. In the case of sending messages in total privacy, it allows two people to exchange private messages in first without exchanging secret codes. So the only requirement is that for the keys to know their corresponding public or private key. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Arvin. I'm here to talk about how PGP works. So first we go to PGP keys. PGP keys have two, which is one is public and another one is private. So first is public key. Public key works like a phone number, as you need someone's public key to send them the encrypted message. So the public key is used to encrypt the message. Next will be private key. Private key is used to encrypt and decrypt the message. So it should be protected and kept secret because it works as an authenticator. That means if you can verify the identity of someone who holds the private key, because the one who holds the private key can decrypt the message sent by someone. So keys are usually generated using RSA algorithm, which is usually generated together and tied to each other. So as you use the PGP software, there will be two key rings available to you. One will be public key ring. Public key ring is it's used to store all the receivers' public key. And next will be private key ring. Private key ring is only used to store your own key. So this is how a PGP key looks like. So this is my own public key. So I'm not the private key usually looks the same, but it'll be different numbers and everything. I am not able to show you because it's my own private key, which I have to keep it secret and everything. So next I will explain about how the PGP encryption process works. So first they have the plain text. The plain text is usually compressed to save space and to make the cracking process harder if should someone know the private key. So next, the compressed message is encrypted using randomly generated session key. So the session key is usually randomly generated by using your own keystrokes or mouse movements during the session. So the compressed text is encrypted, which is encrypted using session key. It's known as hypertext. Then the session key, which is used to encrypt the text, will be encrypted again using receiver's public key, which you can see. So this public key, the encrypted session key, is then attached together with the ciphertext and send it to the receiver, transmitted to the receiver through usually is email. So next will be how the decryption process works. Decryption process is inverse of how encryption process worked. So which the message which is received from the sender, which is ciphertext and the encrypted session key. First, the ciphertext is First, the encrypted session key is decrypted using the receiver's private key, which only they themselves hold it. Which decryption process gives them the session key, which they use to decrypt the ciphertext, which they receive the compressed text, and the compressed text is decompressed and can get the plain text of it. So this is how the encryption looks like. So this is on my left is how the PGP encrypted PGP message looks like without you giving the key. Then this is the message after the decryption looks like. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of PGP. Advantages of PGP is normally the valuable information of user is always protected and other user cannot see it, or the information cannot be stolen over the internet. The second advantage is verification of the sender. The verification of the information of the sender is ensure the PGP software ensure you that it cannot be scammed by the third party. It cannot be steal over the internet by the other people because you are using the PGP. So it cannot be taken or hack your information over it. And PGPs normally don't need any certificate or key for it. If there's a different version, free version, which other programmer normally use to use the PGP, so it can be good for other people. It can be good for it. It is good to use. And PGP is also protect the user from virus attacks and email threats, which can be very harmful if you got any one of those. My next topic is disadvantages of PGP. If you have a different version of PGP, it can cause conflict issue among the user, which means that if your company, or if for example in the company, if the PGP have different version, you cannot be either view the file or the file cannot be revealed. And the second is compatible issue. In PGP, if both of the sender and receiver have the different version, either both party cannot take out the message, or only the one party can see the message. So it is not good for either one of those. And the third issue is complexity. The learning in PGP, the learning curve is really intimidating for the programmer. So unlike other like symmetry and which use only one key, and other asymmetry which only use two key, so it is either easy for them to use, but in that case it is really hard for it to use. And then the final point is no recovery. For security software, it can be easy to use. If you forget a password or anything, you can be retrieved. But in PGP case, you cannot be retrieve your file if you forget your password. So that's it. This is my presentation for the advantages and disadvantages part. I hope you guys have a good day, and then my teammate will present the remaining part.
I'll be talking about the applications of PGP encryption. So the first place that PGP encryption can be used is in email encryption. What happens is, in simple terms, the email is written, it is then encrypted with the receiver's public key. This is a key that the recipient of the email has access to, and it is their publicly known key. The email is then sent and decrypted by the receiver with their own personal private key. Once they input their private key, the email is decrypted and the email is in a readable form. The next form of use for PGP encryption is with digital signatures. So what happens is a hash is generated with the user's name and also any other relevant information available on the computer, for example, the computer's own MAC address, or perhaps the email registered with that account. The hash is then created and it is then encrypted with the user's private key. and then this encrypted hash key is sent to the recipient, and the recipient decrypts it using the user's public key. So this way, instead of the recipient having to do the decrypting with their private key, they use the sender's public key. These are two of the main examples that PGP encryption is used in, but other forms of encryption also include general file encryption, for example, RAR files or zip files. Disk and disk partition encryption, for example, in certain laptops run by businesses, they use PGP encryption to encrypt the hard drive to make sure that people can't just access it and hack into it and obtain valuable company trade secrets. Finally, it's also just normal text file encryption, where it is encrypted using a private and a public key.